Yes, the Misfits are indeed back. We're going to talk about that in just a second here. All right, everybody. It is 8 o'clock p.m. It is Tuesday. Y'all know what it is. It's Earl Grey Tuesday. And once again, it's me. It's that VINCE. Hope you guys are doing well tonight. It's going to be a very light night. A lot of people are going to be streaming. But that's all right. The great one is here. The Delray Misfits are now back in effect, folks. That's right. The Delray Misfits are back. So I can't wait to see some of their podcasts and see what they're up to. But it's like I said before, I told you eventually that they would all get back together. Now, before I begin, I know a lot of people have been asking me this question here, okay? But the fact of the matter is this. I don't delete comments or anything. I'm too lazy to do it. I'm too lazy to delete any comments or to delete people. Period. As far as to what this parent guy is concerned, a lot of people have also asked me about him. Fact of the matter is, he started pestering me months ago, which I ignored him. The reason being is all he posts about is Leo and longevity, and Tony Huge. It's kind of boring after a while, I'm just as interested as anyone else as far as to finding out who killed Leo. But at the same time, I don't want to hear about it every freaking day. Let's let the cops take care of it. But, at the same time, if he wants to do that on this channel, that's fine. But he kept pestering me and spamming me. And then finally, this boy, and I call him a boy because he is a boy, decided to go into my personal Facebook account while I was talking to one of my old ex-boyfriends. He was up there wishing me a happy birthday, And he cuts in and says, hey, message me. As if I don't have my own Instagram account, as if I don't have an email account, as if I don't even have a Vince Goodrum public profile Facebook account, as if I don't have a website that says vincegoodrum.com, Why in the world would you why in the world would you even insert yourself into a conversation with two gay people, I mean, did he run out of Bud Light or something? Was his Grindr account busted or something? I mean, did he need to borrow a cup of sugar or something? And that's when I started tanning those cheeks of his here, and calling him out for exactly what he is. He's a cookie cutter, all right? And I hate using that word. It's a very bad word. It's worse than calling someone a porch monkey, but I got to call him what it is. He's a cookie cutter, He is a bona fide cookie cutter, So I called him out for his content and his material, and I demonstrated and showed his content. And that's the end of it, If he wants me to keep pounding his creases, that's perfectly fine there, But if he keeps messing around, his face is going to be fully covered with man butter, And that's why I'm going to leave it there, And that's where the line is, folks. I didn't mess with him. He messed with me. He came to Lake Genova, all right? I was up there minding my own business, all right? I was just chilling, I didn't want to have conversations with this man because his channel's nothing about Leo. I don't want to hear about him every day. You know what I'm saying? It's quite frank. Yeah, he's a cookie cutter, Justin. He's a cookie cutter. But fuck him. We're gonna move on to that there. So what are you folks drinking and smoking tonight there? I got my Earl Grey, got water, and I got my cigar, Uh, so we're gonna be doing good tonight there. I'll tell you what. So let's see what everybody's got. Did I miss any questions or anything? And Quick Pump, I know you like Perrin, But the thing about it is that you can't just keep pestering me, like that. And especially if someone doesn't want to talk to you, that's perfectly fine, Think of Grinder, for example, or Tinder, Sometimes you have that ugly woman or ugly dude that goes in contact and say, "Are you free?" And sometimes you got to ghost the person and ignore them. And if someone's ignoring you on some sort of dating app, you don't go into it even further. But inserting yourself into a conversation with two gay people? Why? Why would you even do that? That means you asking for the dick. You know what I'm saying? That means you asking for the BBC. And I'm not talking about the British Broadcasting Channel. You know what I'm saying? He asked for the dick. All right? I gave him the dick. I had to slap him across the face with my John Holmes, He had to get it, I'm sorry, I ain't want to do it. I know Hammer said don't hurt him. I had to hurt him, But, oh well. I'm sure I'll hear from him again. And I'll cover him up again with man butter, if need be. I am not apologizing to Cuban neither. Heck, honestly, I should have cussed him out as much as I cussed Cuban out. That's one thing I feel bad for. Cuban wasn't like Perrin on me, but I ended up cussing him out. So he can consider himself lucky. I will show the boy mercy, but if he pesters me again, well, splat splat. It's gonna be straight up Babylon in this mug. He gonna find he's gonna taste the rainbow, that's for sure. I'll tell you one thing, you roll around with a gay man, you're gonna end up with glitter all over your face. That's what's gonna happen, if he messes with me again, Just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is, Don't insert yourself into a conversation with two gay people, all right? Don't, all right? Unless you know us, all right? Period. Never insert yourself into a conversation with two gay people. Why would you do that for? Jeez. That's what got me all upset and everything like that, That's the one thing. You guys know that I got an Instagram account. People Instagram me. Someone contacted me by my email today, I don't get these people sometimes. They want the ding dong, and then when they get it, they just like, ow, it's too big. Pull out. I can't pull out. I already got it in. I'm gonna bust a nut. I got to. I got to do what I got to do. I got my needs. I got urges and stuff. Yep. What's up, Psycho? I'm sorry, I'm going off on people like this here. You got the green, don't you, there? Smoking weed, Justin? Yeah. Oh, boy. Nah, I haven't tried vaping yet. See, I done missed a whole bunch of comments, so let me go back here. Truth one, you got coffee. Hey, it's Earl Grey Tuesday. You got to get some Earl Grey, my friend. Yeah, I know. I'm glad the Misfits are back. They are all right. Yeah, I know, Quick Pump. I was ignoring him. That's the whole thing. I know he's been putting out the videos for months, but I was ignoring him. I didn't want to, I knew his channel was around, but I ignored it because I don't want to hear about Leo every single day. I'm not even subscribed to his channel. But he just kept on getting into my like, okay, fine, you're gonna get some ding dong then, It's like that song Static. Don't start none, won't be none, But geez, you know, I mean, me and him hadn't been me and my ex boyfriend. We hadn't been together in over 25 years, you know. But still, that's my ex here, you know. It's kind of awkward there trying to explain who is this person. You know what I mean? Because that's what happened. He asked me, who is this guy? Are you dating him or something? He actually thought that Heron was my boyfriend. I'm like, no, I would never date someone like that. He's too ugly. You know, he's too ugly. He has no personality neither. You know, if I went out on a date with Perrin, the only thing we would discuss is either the bread or Leo and longevity and Tony Hughes. I don't want to, what if I had his legs up or something like that? He's like, oh, Leo and longevity. I would have to hear that while I'm up there pounding him, you know, like Leo and longevity. I was like, shut up. Have to put a sock in his mouth or something, you know? Crazy, you know? I want to ignore this guy. I don't want to date him. I don't want, but he decided to come swim to Lake Genova there, you know. He decided to get up in my business here. I hate that. And I may sound a little upset because I am, you know. I'm a little disappointed, you know. You butting into a personal conversation that didn't even involve you, you know. Who does that kind of stuff anyway? Did I see your latest video? No, I've been backlogged for a while, RC. Let's take a look and see what we got here. Give me just a minute. RC. Did you make a new video? Let's see here. Well, we can do this here. See, I'm getting used to these screens now. All right, let's check it out. Let me take this tab for Pornhub down. Okay, now that I've closed that, hold on. All right, I'm blanking out the screen, folks. Droop. There we go.
RC, whatever, donate to her. Sorry for calling Jasmine a bad thing. Thought it was funny at the time. I have Asperger's. Oh, I don't know if it's actually RC donating this or if it's somebody else, but I'll tell Jasmine that maybe you apologized. She can look at the thing you sent. I have Asperger's and I'm gay and I'm white and I'm in love with Aaron P. Yeah, it's definitely not RC. I got jealous of Aaron P, so I talked about Jasmine. Please forgive. Yeah, it's not RC.
I love RC. He is a cool guy and brings up good points. I support you, RC. Signed, your friend, Leaf Glenn.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Thanks for the donation, Leaf Glenn. Appreciate it.
Thinking words in his brain of like, what to say.
I too support RC. He is right and I love him and his erect white penis. He can go to Pound Town on this butt any day.
She's not RC. She's a real person. I can't stand fucking RC. I hate that guy. He comes around occasionally.
We're more likely to get replies from people correct.
All right. And we got that out of the way. Let's see here.
Jesus Christ.
Well, we're not going to play that again. He really hates you there, RC. That's for sure. Gotta hand it to you there. Oh, by the way, I changed robes there, so. I forgot I was still in my work robe, and now I'm in my flash robe, so. But you could thank Pugman for that there. Now that I got more bandwidth, I still got to get the other equipment in there, so. But everything's been working good so far, I'll tell you what, you know. Speeds are awesome there, so hopefully this will be a more stable connection. What's up, Joel? Boy, you missed the first half of that show there. You know, I had to go and keep it real and tell it like it is here. Well, truth one, I can't really force it in per se. You know, I'm not a gorilla pimp or anything. Let's get the cigar lit. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, it's been a pretty rough day today. Hmm. 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 It ain't gonna be in order 66. It's gonna be in order 69 there. He's gonna be on the bad end of the cockle, you know. Well, we're not gonna 69 or anything like that. It's just gonna be a 6 and a little line next to it there. Because I'm gonna just be sitting there. Hmm. Tell you what, these damn cigars. Hmm. Like I said, it's gonna be a little light today, folks. Here, like I said, rough day, rough day. Hmm. Greek yogurt and Dr. Pepper. Yeah, I just had some Greek yogurt about a half hour ago. Am I longer than the cigar? Hmm. I mean, I'm 8 inches here, so I guess it's about the same size. Yeah, I would say so. Hmm. Of course, I'm a lot thicker, you know. The South Pole is near the North Pole. It's always pointing up. Hmm. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Who was the scariest prisoner I ever met? There was a guy named Gravedigger. I mean, that's what we call him. Even I called him Gravedigger. He won a couple of tough man contests in Greenville. He was like 6 foot. I think it was like 6'10", big and tall there, you know. And believe me, he was scary. The thing about it is he had all of his own faculties and stuff, and they locked him up for some stupid stuff. I mean, really stupid stuff, you know. They never he never got a shot at things there. He was just in and out. You know, one time and I'm glad you brought this up. Me and my buddy Lacey was doing a we were doing a cell inspection, which is something typical, and checking for contraband, you know. And I'm just walking around and everything like that, you know. I decided to go in, of course, naturally I got to check the showers, and there he is standing there all butt naked there and stuff with soap on. He didn't even have the water on it. I was like, "Grave digger, sorry about that, man. You know, I didn't even hear no water." He's like, he got pretty pissed off, so I just went and left. And I'm like, "Well, we'll do this inspection later on." There, you know, I wasn't trying to mess around or anything, you know. But that's the most scariest prisoner I've ever ran into. Mm. He was scary looking, but he was pretty cool there. But you know, the funny thing is, I couldn't figure. I'm like, what is he doing in here? I didn't hear no water or anything. He could have just kept showering while we were doing the inspection. I'm not gonna check someone in the shower or anything like that. You know, I don't want to get water on my uniform or anything. You know, just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is. Do you think gay guys should change with the ladies? No, no. I mean, you have to. The whole thing about I know where you're getting at as far as bathrooms are concerned. Nowadays, most businesses have unisex bathrooms, which I think that's going to be the preference at this point in time. However, I do worry a little bit about that situation. The thing about it is, you're not going to make anyone happy. You know, I either go into the man's bathroom or I will go into a unisex bathroom. You will not catch the great one in a women's bathroom. Period. You know, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Was he handsome? No. He was scary. Hey, Pugman, what's up, dude? I hope you're doing well. Like I said, we're putting everything to good use there. I got a better connection now, so it shouldn't blank out like before. I hope. I still got to get the rest of the equipment in. I'm somewhat following the Savage drama. I don't really know what to make of it there. Guy's always been a weirdo. You know, Joel, there's a couple people I've dated before to where sometimes whenever after activities are in place there, or let's say we're getting home, we're all sweaty and everything, we want to, do the nasty and everything like that, Sometimes if we get into the shower together, other guy says, hey, I dropped the soap, and, well, next thing things happen, just saying, I've also done that with women too, so. So we've played Drop the Soap before. I've played Drop the Soap. Gotta have fun in life. You gotta live a little bit, Is Lenny a sexual deviant? I don't. As long as Lenny ain't looking at little kids or anything, or little boys or little girls, he's perfectly fine with me, I mean, it's clear that he likes transgender women, and stuff. But as long as he's still screwing with adults, I got no problem with whatever he does. I just don't want to be in the same room as he is whenever he's doing it. Yes, sir. Tap that like button there. But as far as this, I hope you guys have also heard about looks like the Bud Light drama is coming pretty much to an end now that Donald Trump has actually stepped in, And people were surprised, but the thing about it is that Bud Light mainly donates to Republicans, That's all they do. They don't really donate to Democrats, In fact, the vast majority of their donations is to Republicans. But, again, I don't drink Bud Light. I think it's nasty beer. So let me go ahead and get caught up here. Hey, Susan, what's up, dude? Hope you're doing well tonight. Oh, boy. When in my gym bathroom, do you check out the other guys changing? No. And it's impossible for me to do so. Because if I'm taking a shower, I don't have my glasses on, so I can barely see anything. I'm pretty blind when I don't have my glasses on. Everything looks pretty fuzzy. But no, and it's pretty much also for the same reason why, you don't look at other guys whenever I'm at a bodybuilding show and I was competing. Because here's the thing, I'm 12 weeks dieted, I'm dry, I hurt all over the place, I'm tired, I'm weak. You have the smell of posing oil and hot stuff and grease and everything like that, the hot lights, everything smells and stinks. It doesn't make for a very comfortable sexual environment to where you can get a hard on, So that's the long version of the question. But yeah, like I was saying before, the Bud Light issue coming to an end. But one thing that I was pleased with this week here is, well, not exactly pleased. There was a kid that knocked on the wrong person's door. Black kid got shot, And then there was a blonde-haired white lady, white teenager, has a similar situation, drives up in the driveway, and the guy goes and shoots and kills him. Both the black person and the white person got equal news coverage, you know? And there's always been a complaint about uneven news coverage, but both things happened at the same time, so you couldn't complain that both of them didn't get equal news coverage there, you know? That's something that the woke community likes to say, that, you know, black folks don't get the same coverage as white folks here, you know? But we had two incidents that happened at the same time, and both of them got, you know, pretty much the same reporting as before. Is Jay Masters a morning person? I really don't know. I'm not exactly a morning person myself. I mean, my favorite meal is breakfast, but, you know, I'm not a morning person. What exercises do? I do a full body workout. I stick to the basics, you know, bench press, squats, leg raises, bicep curl, tricep press down and stuff. Nothing all fancy and everything. I don't need to be fancy at this day and age. That's at the gym. When I come home, I do my total trainer exercises. So if you want to look at those exercises, just watch a Total Gym commercial. Well, we're gonna review one of his videos tonight. There, Joel. We're gonna review it there because I still need to test out the stream to make sure. I do have increased bandwidth, that's for sure. So we'll get that checked out. Because I think Veganism Exposed put something new up there. I mean, I dated a lot of women there, Psycho, so I do know my way behind the vajayjay, you know. But the fact of the matter is, I'm a homosexual, you know. It doesn't matter how many women I pounded, you know. It makes no difference. Trust me. He's live now. He sounds ill. Well, let's check it out here and see. I'm not gonna pull up the video or anything.
Hi, Jira. We brought you here today.
Get clout through Mr. Beast.
Lunch break.
Alright, well, she's playing the game, I guess. She's a fucking loser. Like, honestly, not only the Mr. Beast thing, but, like, eating the Beast Burger and shit. Fucking loser. Thanks for the donation, though, Upward Ninja. And no, Mr. Beast doesn't have potential in the fitness industry.
Yeah, he does sound a little bit sick, actually. He doesn't look well, neither. He's a little bit more paler than usual. Yeah, I checked out Lamar Thompson's football highlights. Subsequently, speaking of football, Damar Hamlin is going to start playing again. You know, he's that guy that had that heart attack on the field, you know. So he's going to be playing again for the Bills. So I don't know what the insurance is going to say, but man, it's going to go way up. But yeah, quick pump. I always like football highlights here. I always like them. But, you know, the good thing is this year we got a lot of stuff going on. We got the USFL happening right now. The XFL's about to end. You know, folks, it's going to be nice because now we can watch football year round, you know. And that's a glorious thing. So glorious. Hey, Zach, welcome to the show there. Hope you're doing well. Of course, the first 15 minutes, I had to get some stuff off my chest there, and out of my cockle or so forth, Just tell it to you guys straight, so. Hmm. Mm. Ah. But we'll do some, now that this, hopefully, once I finish testing this out, I think the internet's a lot better now. We'll start doing more reviews and movies, maybe some gaming and stuff there, because the initial changes right now, they're awesome. Well, Psycho, I would go back to being 10 years old. Because the only thing I would do is I would invest in Microsoft. I would play, literally speaking, I would know who won football games and stuff and the scores. You can make $1 billion within a couple of months with knowing all of the scores and stuff. And the lottery tickets will be pretty easy. So, heck, I would pick going back like 2 months. If you can go back 2 months in time, you would be a billionaire. Simply because you would know the lottery ticket numbers and stuff. Do I think professional wrestling would benefit from an off season? Yes and no. The issue is, and here's the thing. Wrestlers don't wrestle just about every single day. They do take time off. That's when they're written out of the storylines and stuff. That's when they take their time off. But it's just like any other job, there's some jobs that you can't take off, and professional wrestling is one of them. But for the most part, here's the thing there, folks. The only professional wrestlers that actually wrestle, 300 days a year for the most part are going to be people in AEW, and the WWE. Everyone else there, they may wrestle maybe once or twice a week, Especially your local regional wrestler, they may just wrestle like 2 or 3 times a week and then just work their regular job. So in actuality, Quick Pump, that's not the commonality of a professional wrestler. Most professional wrestlers only do maybe like 40 matches a year. The vast majority of them do only 40 matches a year. I would go back in age. I would still pick going back in age. Psycho. I'm sorry, I misunderstood the question. I would still go back in age. Time is a precious commodity. You can't pay for it. Thoughts on the new Powerhouse Gym? Well, it has the right name. I look at it at this, even though it has the Powerhouse Gym name, it has to live up to it. As long as it's got good equipment, friendly staff and everything like that, it should be pretty successful, one thing's for sure, hopefully I can expect the Delray Misfits to be filming some new videos there, Would I support an all-black Brokeback Mountain sequel? Not too many gay black cowboys out there. Probably have to change the scenery. But I mean, there's nothing to support really. You know, Hollywood does their thing. You know, chances are there probably will be a Brokeback Mountain sequel. You know, and I think it'll be involving Spanish guys there, if anything. It'll probably have Latinos in it there if there is going to be a Brokeback Mountain sequel, because that's a lot more believable. There's a lot of Latin cowboys out there, you know. Not too many black cowboys. Just saying. I mean the name itself, Brokeback Mountain. There, you know. I mean, they picked a very unusual name for a movie like that, you know. Because when I hear the word Brokeback, I'm thinking some really rough sex there, you know, and stuff. You know, breaking someone's back in half or so, you know. But it wasn't like that there. It was a very somewhat elegant movie. They should have used lube there, but, you know, oh well. Spit doesn't work, believe me. I'm looking into a weighted vest to be a powerhouse, how heavy I should go. You should have different weights there. I just wouldn't go weight. I would probably start with just a 40-pound weight vest. If you had to just get one, just get a 40-pound weight vest. The other ones are more specific, like the 110-pound weight vest is more or less for people that are training to be a firefighter. But your standard weight vest is like 40 pounds. Well, Susan, they actually have a streaming gay channel that actually shows some stuff like that, you know. Independent movies, they call it, or so. But the thing about it is, just like my restaurants, I don't go and watch a movie because there's two homos in it there, you know. You should watch a movie because, you know, you hear the reviews and they're good, you know. I went to the movies to watch Brokeback Mountain because the reviews were good. Beyond that, there have been some sorry gay movies that I've had to sit through with a couple of friends there, you know. And believe me, I've had to also sit through RuPaul's Drag Race. I love my friends, but I'm sorry, watching endless episode after episode of people doing drag shows, you know. For someone like me, you know, that's fine. But, you know, they're my friends. I love my friends, you know. So I have no problem sitting through it with you. But I'm talking with my fellow piss troopers. In actuality, no. But they're now coming up with streaming channels like that there that have these types of movies. Weight vest? Oh, no. I used to sell weight vest. Weight vests are good there, you know. I mean, think about it there. I mean, it worked for Goku and Piccolo, you know, on Dragon Ball. You know, Bruce Lee used a weight vest too. So there's a number of applications for a weight vest. No, I'm not a pool shark. I mean, I could play pool moderately good if I practice with it, but, you know, I'm not going to be winning any money or anything. There needs to be a gay me TV. I mean, there was Will and Grace and everything. I mean, that was I think that was a very normalized show, if you can call it, you know. But, you know, the thing about TV is this here. When it comes to any TV shows, it's an exaggerated version of real life, you know. Even a reality show is not even reality. It's just a obscene, gross interpretation of real life. Yeah, Tyrese is having trouble, but that's Tyrese there. He don't know how to keep a hold of his woman, you know. Yeah, Bruce Lee used a weight vest. He also used a Russian electro stimulator as well. Uh, Bruce Lee had a number of innovations here. He also used bodybuilding products. He used protein powder. He used vitamins and supplements here as well. A lot of people that were doing karate and kung fu at the time weren't even doing the stuff that Bruce Lee was doing. Very innovative. When I played Street Fighter, I used Dawson or I used Chung Li. And I used to play for money there. But when Tankin came along, I was just killing it with Nina Williams here. I mean, I was taking money left and right with that. But with Street Fighter, it was usually Dawson or Chung Li. I didn't like Guile's movement works and everything like that. Guile was a very easy character to use, but it just didn't feel right, or anything. It was probably 40 pounds, Zach. 40 or 20 pounds. But yeah, Bruce Lee used weight vest. I mean, come on, guys. You've watched Dragon Ball Z, right? Piccolo, Goku, and all of them, they were wearing weight vest. Oh. Is Kali Muscle on the down low? Well, we've seen him in action on Pornhub, so who knows? And do you really want to know? Would I have dated Bruce Lee? Oh, Bruce Lee was a very good-looking man, and he was very intelligent there. Yeah, I'd probably go on a date with him. Finally, I'll get someone that I would actually date there, It wouldn't be so much for the looks there. He's just a very intelligent person there. He has personality. The great one likes personality, Yeah, Ryu's a beast there. I mean, if you use him right, you can literally beat up anyone. Yeah, I use X Hamster too, I like X Hamster because they actually have more full-length videos. I use also Noodle Magazine as well. That's a good one. And then, of course, you got Spark Bang and stuff. Yeah, sometimes But enough of that there. If there's porn that I need to find, there's plenty of it out there. It's free, The only porn I won't look for is Vegan Gains' OnlyFans. Yeah, I remember the fight with Radix there. He still didn't do well until Goku held Radix in place while Piccolo hit him with the special beam cannon. He sacrificed himself in order to get Radix. I would not date Elvis Presley. Very unhealthy person. Did drugs too. I don't want to be around someone that's doing drugs, Yeah, Zangief's hard to use, but if he gets his hands on you there, he takes off a lot of damage. A whole lot of damage. But you can easily beat him. Especially with Ryu. Using your left hand makes you feel like someone else. Yeah, folks, never pay for porn, okay? No need to. You want to know why? It's quite simple. They're already getting paid. You want to know how? the same way I get paid whenever I'm doing a YouTube video. Except they get paid a lot more than someone on YouTube, you know. I mean, they're porn creators, so any video they get and the number of views and advertisements, they get a percentage of that just as well. That's why I said there's plenty of free porn out there. Did y'all know I used to run a porn website there? I sure did. This was like about 20 years ago. I used to actually have a porn website. I would knock off work early to get home to watch. Well, why don't you just get the DVD set? You know, it's not really that much. I would get the DVD set, and then that way you can watch Dragon Ball Z at any time. That's what me and my ex-husband did. We had all the seasons of Dragon Ball Z. Well, at least he has it. I don't have it anymore. Can I turn up the volume? Sure. Let's see. I'm not going to turn it up too much here because I don't want to blast everyone out. All right, I got it up a little bit. I am speaking a little bit softer because my voice can get loud. Plus, I have the microphone away from me anyway. Oh, yeah, the Tournament of Power was awesome. Yeah, Dragon Ball Super, I think it just ended too shortly. It ended too soon, in my opinion. I mean, there's a lot more they could have gone into depth with, like Jiren and everything. But we may see that in the future. I'm just glad there's finally an orange Piccolo, you know. Orange Piccolo is awesome. I mean, Piccolo's been getting the short end of the stick on power-ups. And now Piccolo is now somewhat on par with Goku and everybody else. Well, I get to start my injections in the next few weeks here, so it won't be D-Bowl. You know, D-Bowl's not actually really produced anymore, you know, to be honest with you. Not in the way it was produced back in the 60s and 70s. Really, Zach, then I guess they may be making another movie. I've not seen the new Brawley movie yet. But I'm definitely going to check it out there. Anytime something comes out on Dragon Ball Z or so forth, I am going to check it out.
Did you find your gold? You can buy a gold ETF. 0.10% annual expense fee. Is that a good deal?
Vince with a $100 donation. I knew I forgot to do something today. I forgot to go look for that gold. I'll go find it later on or so forth. Y'all just have to remind me on that. But can you buy a gold ETF 10% annual expense fee? It would be a good deal if you can guarantee it itself, and as long as it's legitimate. Like I said, I fell for the Carrot Bars deal, which made similar promises to that, and like I said, my gold is pretty much all gone. But again, thanks for the donation there. You always take good care of me here. So, But right now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna stay away from gold for quite some time because of the experience with carrot bars. Because I lost a good chunk of money on that, you know, and on the subsequent G999 coin. But that's the thing about investments: you win some and you lose some. The gold would have worked, but the guy Harold Scheitz was a scumbag, and now he's trying to get people with Mindbase, you know. But again, thanks for the donation there. Like I say, you always take good care of me, brother. I tell you what. So, Will gear make you desire women again? No. I've been on it for about a month there, and there's been no difference. You know, like I said, being gay is not some sort of hormone thing or anything like that. At least in my opinion. You know, has nothing to do with how much testosterone's going through your body. Did I have a Dreamcast? No, I never had a Dreamcast. My actual last system that I purchased was an Atari Jaguar. Beyond that, I had a used Xbox 360 and a used Nintendo Wii, but that's about it. But by that time, I got those for like $50 each. So it was on the end out there. There was already new systems in place. Yeah, too much salty food can cause high blood pressure. If you're going to eat salty food, make sure you drink plenty of water. That's why they tell people to drink a lot of water a day, is simply to flush out all the sodium. I played Power Stone. That was a pretty good game. Just because I didn't own a Dreamcast, I still play Dreamcast games here. Over at Friends' house here. Dreamcast was an awesome system. They should have kept going with it, to be honest with you. Tanya Harding made a porn video? That must have been some redneck rampage, that's for sure. Did she hit someone with a hubcap or something? Vegan Gain said she was thinking about a full transition. What is she transitioning into? That's the question there. What is she going to transition into? I mean, I was already talking about hacking it off. I mean, is she going to grow one or something, you know, or what is she I mean, you know, if she does, then it'll be good mints there. So Goku is the strongest person in Universe 7. He can beat Brawly. Because when Goku is on the losing end, he just manages to pull out more power, just like any other Saiyan would. And then Brawly pulls out more power. But I think Goku just pulls it out whenever he needs to. Was there any blood when you lost your man cherry? No. There shouldn't be any blood involved or anything like that, you know. I donated the Wii. I gave it to a Goodwill. The other one's at my ex's house there, so. Well, Billy, I can't call an Order 66. That would be a Delray misfit that could probably call one. I can't call one. Me, I just rather pound a man in the ass there if they mess with me. So, yeah, I don't need that's also one thing. I don't need so much of an Order 66 there. It'd be more or less like a Pound Town or the Soul Order Soul Pole. Yep. Let's see what Tesla ended with today. I heard about that. Let's see. It's going to actually go, well, down by 1.46, but they're still doing pretty good. I mean, it's still worth 184, so. Fernandez, I think both Jasmine and Richard need to drink, you know. They need alcohol like a mug, you know. Because at this point in time, I don't know what else will help them. Obviously, the stuff they're doing right now ain't helping.
Jasmine, I feel so shit. Jasmine proceeds to drink water instead.
Vince with a $3 donation. I feel so. He proceeds to drink water and. I don't quite understand the question, but just to be honest with you, but anytime you feel sick, it's always good to have some water. You know, just to flush out whatever you ate there, especially if you got a tummy ache or something. But again, thanks for the donation there. Like I say, you always take good care of me here. Did I see the Stop Oil protester who ran onto the snooker table at the Crucible and threw orange powder all over it? No, I'm not aware of that at all there. If that recently happened, I've not heard of it yet. Was there mud on the helmet? It happens sometimes, you know. I prefer a clean ride there, but, you know, you gotta stop and wipe there, you know, and stuff. But you have to remember that's what rubbers are for, you know. So it's not really on there. You just got to change. You just got to change your condom. Put more lube in and keep it moving. KIM that, you know. I mean, sometimes sometimes if you have a smelly woman there, you know, sometimes you know that cooch is so vinegary, you know, you got to change it as well. So it's worked both ways. I had one vinegary woman there. You know, I mean, I could, you know, just that's the best way to describe it. It was a very vinegary pussy, you know. Definitely had to change the rubber about twice or so. Yeah, Jiren definitely is stronger than Brawley because remember, Jiren, the other female Brawley version, I mean, he just took one shot and he just said it was over, you know, just like it was nothing. Well, quick pump, don't be disgusted. Sex is a very dirty activity, you know. Hetero, both straight and gay, you know. Because remember, you know, you're gonna be intermingled with body parts in which, you know, it's used to expel waste out of the body. So you just got to deal with it, you know. Other than that, you can get oral, you know, or something that works too. Never had any dirty oral before. Well, Vegeta's edge psycho is that Vegeta's willing to kill, you know. He's not the same as Goku in terms of just lying around or so forth. Vegeta will kill someone, you know, literally. Yeah, that was a sad situation there, Andy. I mean, once Frieza killed Krillin, you know, that's when Goku went off there. But do you remember when Frieza was just beating the crap out of Vegeta, hitting him in the back and stuff? That was, when I saw that there, it almost brought a tear to my eye because, you know, I was like, man, he was just getting beat up there. You know, it's probably one of the worst beatings I've seen. But the way that Frieza just beat Vegeta, it was just he didn't just beat him, he just tortured him. Mm. Very brutal. I liked my Atari Jaguar. I had the Alien versus Predator. The Fight for Life never actually was never released there, KCB. It was released long after the system was dead. Someone had actually somewhat finished it. That's why it looks like crap, because it's an unfinished game. I didn't own Kasumi Ninja. I did own Ultra Vortex. But yeah, the games were kind of those Ultra Vortex was kind of lame. It looked good, but it was lame. And the Kasumi Ninja is kind of show no mercy, you know. I mean, I thought I was talk. I mean, it sounded almost like the guy from Breakfast from Tiffany's here. Breakfast at Tiffany's. Blaha always gaslights his people that responds in his post there. But at least he now has the guitar to keep himself calm. I've not seen the new Narco series, Athens. Like I said, I don't pay for cable or anything like that, so I'm not sure what it's going to be on it or so forth. Well, a lot of the Japanese characters, like Ash Ketchum, are played by women. Actually, they're voiced by women. So yeah, on certain occasions, you will hear a feminine type voice because of that. Well, Fight for Life would have been a mediocre game regardless as to whether it was released or not. It wouldn't have made a difference because the system was dead on arrival. I just wish I kept my system because those things are worth a ton of money there, you know. Especially the games. I played Killer Instinct. I was decent with TJ Combo and Orchid. But, you know, the combos were just too easy to do, so it wasn't that hard of a game to play. Vegan Gains banned you for the fourth time. Well, that's okay. Go for a fifth time, folks. How is the stream going right now? Is it pretty clear? Any issues or anything like that? Just let me know in the comments below. Yeah, some of them were going KCB for like $25. They were just trying to clear them out, you know, because they were going to be on the losing end. But I traded back in my Jaguar for another Atari computer anyway, so that's what happened to my Jaguar. I traded it back for an Atari Mega ST2. No, I'm not exactly a morning person. I sleep very rough, actually, Pugman. That's why I don't sleep with an alarm clock or anything like that. I just have to wake up when I wake up. Unless I have a schedule to keep there. But I go to bed early enough to where if I have a schedule, I go to bed real early. So that way that gives me time to wake up there. Psycho, I don't know how to blow rings. I'll have to learn how to do it one day. That would look pretty cool while doing my live streams. Yeah, the Genesis with the 32X and the Sega CD, if you had both of those, life was good for you. You know, I remember playing Streets of Rage on the Sega CD. It sounded pretty cool there, you know. I liked it. Okay, Zach. My name is Vince, and I am so big and muscular and very beautiful. Yeah, no. You recapped an entire Turbo Express? Jeez. Well, I admire your dedication there. Yeah, I would say that's miserable to recap the whole thing. And folks, in case you're wanting to know what that is, that's taking out all the capacitors in the machine and replacing them, which requires you to unsolder them and then resolder them back together, you know, and clean off the board. I had to do that with when I worked at Icon. It's not fun to recap things. Yeah, a lot of that stuff was a lot of the equipment, such as I wanted a Famicom one time from Japan because it had the keyboard and it had with the cartridges you can put them in instead of having to slide them in like a VCR and stuff. But emulators are awesome. I still have a Stella Atari emulator and it runs pretty good. We ain't blowing no anal rings or anything. I played Dune for the Atari ST Psycho. I didn't play it for the Drive system. But I like Dune. It was a pretty good game. Very picturesque. I also played Myst as well. Well, as far as parents concerned, you know, it's like Grizzly Jr. said, get what deserve, you know. I don't play the guitar. I don't play the skin flute neither. So I can play the trumpet, actually. That's the only instrument I know how to play is the trumpet. I'm glad Uncle Brandon likes my channel. I try to do my very best. You know, maybe I may not be up in times with things, and I may not be aware of a video that someone posts, but I do my best in order to check it out and see. Flush mount liquid caps, you needed the chisel iron to remove. Yeah, they're going to be notorious for that. I wasn't aware they had the flush mount liquid caps here. And yeah, that's going to be pretty bad. Oh, no problem, Zach. And no donation necessary, of course. So it'd be nice, but but just no twerking or anything. Sometimes I do miss my engineering career. I didn't like recapping things, and sometimes you find weird things in the copier or so. But you know, I do miss working on things and stuff like I used to. you might see more of Genova pretty soon, actually. I mean, looks like his uncle's being less restrictive because he's making Facebook posts and stuff, and he's on social media, so there may be a comeback for the Sith Lord there. So hopefully, if he does come back, we'll have to welcome him with open arms there. I mean, I'm not going to suck him off or anything if he comes back, but you know, the thought would cross my mind. I'm just messing, folks. Genova's still working, and he's posting. He's collecting coins and stuff there. Genova's doing a lot better, actually, than he was before. He's in like one of those Britney Spears situations here. Ice Monkey, I am going to watch that. I haven't had a chance to do so. Like I said, I've had a pretty rough week so far, to say the least. Has nothing to do with parenting or anything, just a lot of business issues. That doesn't surprise me. One of the reasons why the Game Boy sold so well is because of the long battery life and the compactability to where you can carry it in your back pocket, sort of. So I wouldn't be surprised that they would have made one that's solar powered, because solar power is a lot better than it used to be, like whenever it came out like 30 years ago. Trek or Wars? Star Trek, if that's what you're referring to. Why does Uncle have all that power over him? It's because of all the things Genova unfortunately did there, you know. And he took over, you know. Genova was just out of control. I thought about getting an Atari Lynx, but I changed my mind on it, you know. You know, here's the thing. Back in '89 and stuff, I had a personal organizer which already had a few games on it, you know. I was just happy playing like Minesweeper and stuff. I didn't really need that many games. That's the whole thing. Back in the 90s and stuff, before cell phones and everything like that, you know, sometimes you hear some of these old geezers where back in the day we used to talk to each other. That's not true. If I went to a coffee house back in the 90s there, I would have my newspaper or I would have my personal organizer. You know, whether it's 10 years or 30 years ago, we always had a way to ignore people, you know. And it was a lot easier with a newspaper because you have the big newspaper up in front of you and stuff. And it's pretty clear that you're actually doing something compared to a phone where you can be disturbed. Well, now that they're back, you may see me in Florida. I mean, there's a bunch of people I need to go visit there anyway, so that is feasible that I can be in Florida at some point in time. I did beat the Nintendo game Life Force. I also beat Guardian Legend too, as well. Life Force was a very hard shooter game. Especially at the very end when you got to escape and everything and those bars start closing. Tough. Really tough. Yeah, and the Link's battery life was horrible too. That's why that and the Game Gear failed in the Nintendo. That's why the Game Boy was so popular. It's all about battery life. Athens, I don't think that would have ever actually happened. He could have made a threat, but I don't think someone would go that far as to do something like that. NGC, no, he did some other things as well. I don't want to drag up I don't want to drag up things like that, but there was a lot of bad things that he did. The only thing I can mention, it has something to do with selling some of the coins there. No, I don't play Fortnite. I don't have neither the bandwidth to do it, nor do I have the computer in order to do it. Nomad. Who made the Nomad? I think, was that NEC? Sega Nomad. Oh, that's the one where you can use, full size Sega cartridges. Yeah, that would eat batteries pretty fast. Hey, Athens, we can't say stuff like that. Leave them alone. They hadn't done anything. I was a gamer at one time. I did compete in the Tankin tournament and got pretty far in it there. So, but I was a gamer at one time. It goes to imagine if I was a little bit younger and everything. If I was a lot younger, so forth, I would probably do the same thing that Vegan Gains and everyone else is doing and get on Twitch and stuff. I may still do that in the future if I ever get cable or fiber. But I was a pretty good gamer. As far as Danny Hester is concerned, boy. Good physique there, Good that would be, but I don't know anything about him but that much because I've never met him before. Well, now that my bandwidth is up a little bit, I may do some gaming, but I would have to do it very lightly now until the new equipment comes in. It's on back order right now as far as what it is. So it's going to be very expensive, but I think it'll be worth it. Well, no, KCB, it isn't because it's a rare game system. There was only a few made, and a lot of people threw theirs away. So, I mean, an Atari. If you try to get an Atari ST now, it's like $2,000 or $3,000 just to get one, if you can even get one. My Mega ST, you probably have to pay $3,000 to grab one. Nostalgia is one thing that is it's kind of amazing. I never thought that getting an Atari ST back would be so expensive. And I've thought about getting one back. I've never read his arrest record there. I don't try to get into people's criminal records or anything per se because all of us have done bad things in life, As long as he's not the same person today, that's cool. Well, KCB, Jay Cutler's getting up in age, And chances are he probably hurt his bicep at one point in time. But that's just age. It doesn't matter how many steroids that you take or so forth. I mean, look at Scott Steiner, There's only so far it anabolics actually goes. Eventually, your body is still going to break down regardless. It is. A lot of musicians are still using it, but people have also moved on since then. I think it has more to do with the Cubase software, the original stuff. And if someone's been a musician for so many years, you know, they don't want to be in the habit of trying to learn something new. How do you overcome addiction? It depends on what your addiction actually is. If it's an alcohol addiction, I would say Alcoholics Anonymous would be the best thing. Certain medications can also help with addictions as well. The biggest thing as far as addictions are concerned is you can't hang out with the people that you did drugs with if they're still doing drugs, you know. If they're no longer doing drugs or so forth, then those are the people you want to hang out with, you know. But a lot of people go back on it because they continue to hang out with the same friends that were doing drugs to begin with. Yes, you're correct on that, KCB. The ST is a very solid system, you know. It doesn't crash like a regular Windows computer. Now, they made a modded version of the ST back about 10 years ago. They only produced it for quite some time. I don't know if, I think they called it a Firebox or something like that. What games that I have for the Wii? I had all the Zelda games. Let's see what else I had. I had the Mario Party game as well. I didn't have too many games for the Wii. The reason why I also bought the Wii is because it, you know, it was also a streaming device, so I can watch TV off of it and stream things like Netflix and Hulu and stuff. So for me, the Wii was more of a streaming device than a game system. Blaha lies because he lives into a fantasy world. He's like a regular modern day Walter Mitty. Comments on the American election. DeSantis has pretty much taken himself out of the election. You know, Trump's going to kill him in the debates at this point in time. Trump will end up being the Republican nominee, I believe, at this point. I had high hopes on Nikki Haley, but she's not picking up much steam. And Tim Scott, his gums are too big. He looks like Bubba from Forrest Gump, so I don't think he's going to be in place. But I think Trump is going to be the Republican nominee. That's why I was mentioning a Pugman. I had to wait and see. DeSantis has no he has no course of becoming the Republican nominee at this point. The reason being is he's trying to make himself look like Trump, but there's only one Donald Trump. There's only one Don, you know. That's not DeSantis. He can't he's trying to court Donald Trump supporters, but it's just not going to work. There's only one Donald Trump, you know. Love him or hate him there, so forth. There's only one Donald Trump. Well, Psycho, you should do what your doctor tells you to do, you know. That's the best thing. If you have an addiction or some sort of medical issue, take the advice from a doctor, and if you don't feel that advice is good, then go to another doctor and get a second opinion. I've never found GameCube games very expensive. You can go to any pawn shop and you can still grab them for really cheap. The GameCube was an awesome system because it wasn't CD based, it was still cartridge based. So it loaded up fast and, it was a lot more of a solid system as opposed to a CD based system. But now the game systems are all down. You just download the games into the actual system itself for the most part. You hardly see anyone buying CDs anymore because of that. Who is better looking, Jay or Blaha? Are you referring to Jay Cutler? I would say Jay Cutler looks better than Blaha. KCB, there's been trash going on in Chicago for 100 years, ever since Capone and them was around. Chicago is a major metropolitan city as well as New York and Los Angeles. So there's always going to be problems in major cities like that. That's one of the reasons why I never moved there. And I'm in a place like Greenville and South Carolina. You don't have to put up with that kind of trash. You got a better way of living in the South there. But if you live in Chicago, again, get what deserve. I would never live in Chicago, in New York, or Los Angeles. Just too many of those urban people around, if you know what I mean. Oh, yeah. The GameCube used those tiny discs. What am I thinking? I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the N64. But the GameCube was also solid, too. It loaded very fast as far as games are concerned. J Masters or Blaha? Oh, I would say Blaha by a short hair, When I look at Jay Masters, he looks like Archie Bunker, which isn't so much of a bad thing or so forth. But Jay Masters is pretty worn down, If he cleaned himself up or so forth, he would look a lot better than Blaha, in my opinion. There's no way to clean up Blaha. Hey, Dusty, welcome to the show here. I'm glad you made it. I haven't kept up with GameCube discs. I didn't know they were expensive. Let me see how much GameCube games run. I still think you can get them at pawn shops and stuff. Oh my gosh, yeah. The games have gone up exponentially. I wonder why. I mean, it is an older system, but Metal Gear's like $119. Let me read this article. Why are GameCube games so expensive? Looks like that's going to go up even more in value. I guess these are good investments at this point in time. Oh, really, KCB? What did you sell it for? It says Super Smash Bros. Melee. A new price for it would be $209. Oh, yeah, I love playing WCW Revenge. That was a cool game. I mean, I was still gaming back then, but most of the games I played were computer games. Not so much as video games. But after time, I just fell out of playing video games. But I'll probably go back to it at this point, but I'll just dip into it. Because what I want to do is I want to play on Twitch and stuff like that. I want to live stream some old classic games. I think that would be pretty cool. Sealed Ninja. Ooh, that is a good investment there. You got some good money off of that, KCB. I met Scott Norton one time. Nice guy, actually. He's a man's man. He's an American, that's for sure. You know, he did most of his best work in wrestling in Japan. You know, he just didn't take off so much in the U.S. But you know, that's the way it is sometimes. You know, sometimes you don't fare well here, but in Japan you're a superstar. And Scott Norton is super popular in Japan. Well, Scott Norton, he wasn't out of shape or anything. He was just, you know, he was an arm wrestling champion, I believe, and, you know, and a power lifter. So he just had a stocky look to him. But yeah, he's like 61 now. And he's actually, according to this, he's still wrestling, actually. Semi retired there, so. Well, KCB, he's a big guy, so he's not going to be doing Hurricane Ranas or going off the top rope. I mean, there are some rarities like Big Van Vader, for example. You know, he could do a Vader salt there. I thought that was always awesome. You're seeing a 400-pound guy doing a moonsault off the top rope. Bret Hart had that cool edge, you know, slick back hair, you know, and stuff, sharpshooter, you know. I think he just had the cool factor, more or less than anything else. He was a great wrestler too. I mean, he trained at the dungeon after all. Would I consider myself a bear? No. The twinks call me a daddy. I would consider myself more of a jock at this point. At one time, I was a twink, actually. That was before I started lifting weights and working out. So. But I was like a beanpole at that, you know, at one point in time. And then over time, I just started building up muscle. But I would say I'm a jock at this point. Definitely not a bear, because I hardly grow any hair around. That's from competing in bodybuilding, so my hair grows very, very, very little, you know. Yeah, Brett's stick is that he would work on the legs and then he would tie him in a sharpshooter. It's pretty similar to Dynamite Kid's technique. What about Andre's huge head? You mean Andre the Giant? That guy was massive. Thoughts on Perrin Fitness? I guess you missed the first 15 minutes. I've made 2 videos about him. I mean, he's clearly putting up nothing more than Leo and Tony Huge videos just for views, you know. And that's my opinion of it. And the fact that he spammed me and got on my personal Facebook page and got in the middle of my conversation with one of my ex-boyfriends, you know, that really pissed me off really bad. Is there any particular brand of weighted vest I would recommend? No, not really. I mean, you can't overcomplicate a weighted vest, so you can get any type of brand of weighted vest and you should do fine. I mean, because all it is just a vest with little weights in it. I would get one that you could put more or less weights in. I would get an adjustable weight vest. You'll get a better value in money. Yeah, shame what happened to Owen Hart. I don't know why they made him do something like that for. Awesome wrestler, you know. But that stunt to where he's scaffolding off of the very top and everything like that, there was no reason for him to do something like that. You get hit on by a lot of older guys, Susan, but I was a top anyway, so for being a top there, it made it a little bit hard to hook up or so forth. Not that I had no problems with it or anything, but it is what it is, I guess. Biden has nothing to do with weights there. If you want to get any weights, don't have them shipped because shipping is going to be super expensive. Just simply go to like Play It Again Sports or a used sports outlet, and you should be fine on weights. You can also find them at a lot of flea markets, and there's always someone selling weights here. Just don't have them shipped to you. Psycho Brett had a lot of great talents here. He was just a talented wrestler. You know, the only reason why he stopped was because Goldberg kicked him in the face there. Goldberg at that time was a very reckless wrestler, and I think he still is. I saw this show that he did in Saudi Arabia, and it was bad. Very bad. Well, of course, because Brett was a bigger superstar, and they looked at Owen like a younger brother, sort of. Yeah, Play It Again Sports. I mean, I don't sell weights. I went back to selling body solid equipment, but I'm not going to sell any weights, and that's just simply because of the shipping prices. I don't think it presents a good value. You're better off just buying weights locally. La Parka. There's about 3 different La Parkas. If you're talking about the one from a WCW, Skull Captain in his house. And you guys know the 411. One for me and one for my homies. Hey, Buzzcut, I'm gonna bust your Lucky Charm ass. Hey, Jungle Jim, I'm gonna knock the kinks out of that Angela Davis natural. And I think he said one to, oh gosh. He said one to Buff Bagwell, like, he called him I'm gonna beat your George Clooney ass and stuff. I love that. I love that gimmick that La Parka had at one time when he was talking black there from that other voice. It was similar. They did that because of WWE's, whenever they had Kai and Tai. We are evil. If you can only afford 3 over-the-counter supplements, creatine, multivitamins, and cranberry tablets. Cranberry tablets, I would think everyone needs to take there, because there's nothing worse than a urinary infection or so forth. And plus, it keeps your system clean. Cranberry tablets, I take them every day. It flushes out the system. Tamoxifen. Tamoxifen. Are you talking about taraxetone or tamoxifen? I don't think you should. If you're talking about taraxetone, you only need to take that. You only really need to take that to get rid of the water out of your body before competing. You don't need to take that regularly. Tamoxifen, that's to treat breast cancer. Why? I don't know. There shouldn't be any reason you should be taking something like that at all. So, are you talking because it's treated breast cancer? Are you talking about tiraxetone instead of tamoxifen? You shouldn't. I mean, men don't take that type of stuff. Takamichi no Shu and Funab. Yep, Kai and Tai. Aye, choppy, choppy, yo! Pee pee! Ha ha ha! Are you talking about Royce? Yeah, I've seen a bunch of Royce fights here, especially in the early days of UFC. I think UFC was a lot cooler back in the day. You know, it was more or less like a street fight. Now it's organized. You know, the old UFC was awesome. Yeah, I've heard of it being used for roid PCT, but I don't recommend using that. I would just use the general stuff. Do I remember a martial arts show from the 90s called WMAC Masters? I am vaguely familiar with that, but I had never watched it. I've heard it. I've heard the name before, but no, I'm not familiar with it. Hey, Andrew. Well, you still got 20 minutes here, and we got the replay and stuff. So, folks, how is the stream doing? Any cutoffs or anything like that? Or because the stream should be running pretty well at this point, at least for now or so. When I get that new equipment, and I'm hoping I can get it up to where I can do some real gaming. I'm not gonna do that because I'm in pajamas there, psycho. But I'll do it whenever I have pants one of these days. I hate now if you land one punch in the UFC, the dumb ref stops in. Well, KCB, you have to remember those guys are not being paid much, so and I don't think I think it takes more than stopping. I think it's a matter of response. But, you know, again, you're hitting people with practically no padding in the gloves. So it's important to stop things like that. I think it's for the safety of the athletes. I won't be able to stay on until 11. I got to take care of some other stuff. Would I date Dana White? No. I think he's an asshole. I've not seen the remake of Mortal Kombat. I went to the movies to watch both Mortal Kombats. I liked the first one. The second one was just really bad. Matt, I don't play any games anymore. I've not played games in many years. If I do start playing games again, I'll start with classical games. I would never date a 90-year-old because we would have very little in common, you know, because of the age difference. Do I like the big... I always liked Scott Steiner in WCW there. He was a great performer. And he talked a good game, too, you know. I especially like the Scott Steiner math there, you know. Mortal Kombat Annihilation, it just sucked, you know. I feel the same way about that as when I went to the movies to watch Street Fighter. That was so disappointing. I don't like RuPaul simply because she insulted Milton Berle at the MTV Awards. So I'm not a big fan of RuPaul because of that. If it wasn't for Milton Berle, you wouldn't have drag queens to begin with, so. Do I get enough fiber in? I eat oatmeal almost every day, so yeah, I get plenty of fiber in. And then I have asparagus as well, so that also has a lot of fiber. Fiber is very good for your body. The The biggest issue with Street Fighter is just the storyline. It was just bad. The reason why they didn't do a remake is because the guy that played Bison passed away. That was his final movie. Yeah, the dialogue was bad. I think what happened is that, because they had Jean-Claude Van Damme in it there, that they really skimped out on the writing. They just pretty much thought, well, John Van Damme was going to sell the movie. And they were wrong! Wrong! Thoughts on Dr. Tony Hughes' uncle? He's very amusing, but I don't think he offers any viable information per se. Amusing, though, at least. I don't count how many grams of fiber that I get every single day, so I don't have any recommendation. I would just try to say get as much as you can there, If you eat a bowl of oatmeal, Dusty, you should be fine. Fiber is not something that you should count grams with there, per se. You either take a fiber supplement or you eat some oatmeal. Would I ever date an animal? No. That's bestiality. That's also illegal, too. I've not watched any of Perrin's interview videos. Like I said, I tried to always ignore him there. I don't want 10,000 subscribers. I want subscribers that are actually going to watch the channel itself there, Susan. I concentrate more on the quality of my videos as well as the quality of the subscribers. It's like I said before, I'll take one piss trooper over 1,000 of Perrin's cookie cutter subscribers any day. Because you guys are interactive in the lives, in my comments and chats, and that's what's really important to me. Not so much as the number of views. It would be nice to have millions of views, but that's just not one of the things that are happening, so I have to go with what I got, I went to the movies to watch Universal Soldier. I thought it was a pretty decent movie. It was an okay movie. Ricky Spanish, who is that? Let's take a look and see. I don't know a Ricky Spanish. The only thing it says it's from an episode of Family Guy. What about the YouTuber Ricky Spanish? Maybe you're talking about that. All I'm pulling up is American Dad stuff, so I'm not sure who that is. Do I think Perrin Fitness knows too much? I could care less what he actually knows. Just needs to stay off my back there, or otherwise he's going to get those cheeks slapped again. Like I said, I knew his channel was somewhat around there. I never so much as heard of him in the industry per se. He's not. I don't consider him as one of us established fitness professionals. I think he's someone that just inserts himself into things that, he's trying to make a name for himself there. But I don't consider him as one of us there per se, if you know what I mean. Richard, I don't think Richard or Jasmine are ever going to divorce. They argue like a couple. As long as they're arguing, the worst thing that can be in place is if you don't say anything at all to each other, They are obviously interactive with each other, so. Yeah, Susan, I've seen YouTubers with 100,000 subscribers and they would have like 5 people in there. And it's because of the activity as far as to how they got the subscribers, you know. You see, I can run YouTube advertising on my channel, pay YouTube, and I'd probably have 20 or 30,000 subscribers, easy. But that's not what I'm going to actually do. If I do it, I'm going to do it on my financial channel I'm developing. The reason being is because YouTube will pay me more money. Plus, it's a lot easier for me to do that because it doesn't require me to be on camera or anything. What is my favorite song of all time? I would say Thriller, actually. Chad, ew, 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 ew. That's just straight nasty. Well, Richard is not straight, Dusty, at this point in time. You know, it's all about running bases. First base would be looking at another man, you know, in a sexual way. Second base would be putting your hands on a man in a sexual way. Third base would be probably surfing gay porn. And then finally, home plate is just, you know, sex, you know. But because his wife no longer identifies as non-binary, I guess Richard would be considered bi at this point. Plus, he has an affinity for panties, and he says he always wanted to be a woman. So, yeah. Well, Blaha has a legitimate 113,000 subscribers. Like I said, he attracts those types of people, you know. So I would honestly say Blaha did earn his subscribers for pretty much similarly to the same reasons why Richard earned his subscribers. Because a lot of the content early back on when you can get away with things was very controversial, you know. That's how Blaha got all his subscribers. Plus, also, you have to remember the length of time Blaha and Richard have been on YouTube. Favorite movie? I have so many favorite movies. I would say my favorite movie was either Spaceballs or Blazing Saddles. I would say Spaceballs. I went to the movies to see that. That was when I was a kid. I always thought that was an awesome movie. When I go downtown to Greenville, there's a bunch of homeless people. But not in Piedmont. There's no homeless people here. I mean, it's out in the middle of nowhere. Christine, that was the movie about the haunted car. I thought that was kind of a silly movie. I never went to the movies to see that. I saw that on network TV. But if you guys have noticed, there has been no lag. So again, thank Pugman for the improved internet on this channel. Okay, everyone in the comment section say thank you, Pugman. May the Schwartz be with you. I'm not a big fan, Zach, of horror movies. I don't like horror movies. Zacko, what's going on there? No, I'm not. I don't have any plans on getting married again. But again, never say never, you know. Might just end up meeting that one person there, you know. Vince, do I remember Alex right? Oh yeah, him and Disco Inferno, the Dancing Fools. He was a very young person. I think he was one of the youngest wrestlers hired by WCW. I think he was like 18 at the time, 18 or 17. Cyborg, okay. Aliens was an awesome movie. Oh yeah, The Princess Bride. That was quite a funny movie. I also like the movie, the one with David Bowie and those Muppets and stuff. That was a pretty cool movie. The Wanderers is before my time. I don't think you can ask Dusty Rhodes anything at this point in time. He's been gone for quite some time. I've not heard the name Dennis Wolf in a long time. But I've seen some pictures of him a couple of years. He's definitely no longer competing there. He's not taking, I don't think he's taking steroids, probably just a maintenance dose. Because I think he weighs like 200 or 190 pounds at this point or so. Very small person there, you know. That's why they say drugs are the finishing touch. Oh God, I hate it, Footloose. Never went to the movies to see that one, but I watched it. I just didn't like it. Folks, we got 5 minutes left, so get your questions in. Because the great one has to get back to work here, unfortunately. I would love to meet Mr. T. I pity the fool. Or the old Rocky. Hey woman, if you want to get with a real man, come back to my apartment. Stop caffeine, stop drinking. I've cut down on my drinking and smoking cigars, Pugman. I mean, I have those little teeny ones at this point in time. I mean, the only time I smoke the big ones is whenever I'm doing my live streams, but I've cut down on... I hardly drink anymore. If you notice, I don't even have a drink with me tonight. I just have tea and I have water. Stop or my mom will shoot. So I'm cutting down, Pugman. But, you know, I do like cigars, and every once in a while I do like a good drink. So don't shoot me over that. I've mainly cut down because there's, Pugman, because there's no need for me. I'm not working at Verizon anymore. I don't have to go out with friends and do business meetings anymore. So once I left, everything was just cutting way down, so... I hated Stopper my mom would shoot. Well, man, I mentioned it before. It's not really about the name. It's about the service and the equipment. As long as it has those elements in place and they're not trying to rip people off for memberships, I think the gym will be very successful. Oh, I watched South Park for many years. I don't watch it anymore because it's too preachy. But I did watch the COVID Wars. That was on Paramount. Do I think Apollo was trying to seduce Rocky? No. And besides that, it was just a movie. Do I know Tekashi 6ix9ine? Yes, he's a snitch, you know. Snitches get stitches, rats get bats. I think he got beat up at a sauna at a gym. But that's to be expected, you know. Oh, yeah, I love the Death Wish movies, Zach. Those were awesome movies. Good old vigilante justice. You know, it was based off of another incident in New York where a guy on a train actually did the same thing. That's how the Death Wish theory started. It's based technically off true events. Purge Day. I would probably hide out, but, you know, if you tried to get me, I would get you first. I would not join the Guardian Angels because it's New York, and New York is in my opinion, I would never move to New York. And I've been on the subways. They smell bad. I mean, subways they're a great way to get around, but New York subways have bum all over the place. You can't read the signs or anything. You know, it's easy to get lost even with that. Plus, I see those people getting pushed on those tracks. That's kind of scary, too, so. They prosecuted him, but he was found innocent. He never went to prison or anything. Dusty, anything Clint Eastwood's made has been pretty good. I went to the movies to see Gran Torino. That was an awesome movie. Well, that wouldn't be snitching, Matt. That would be reporting someone that committed a heinous act. Snitching, I would consider, is if you're part of the criminal activity and you rat on someone in order to keep yourself out of trouble. That's what snitching is. You're snitching to keep yourself out of trouble, not to report the crime itself. And the world's not going to end. It's gonna the big rock is gonna continue spinning. I would consider myself a piss trooper. I did get the vaccine. And the booster shot, but I've only gotten one. I didn't get the subsequent ones. Hey, Chad, I certainly hope you're doing well. All right, folks, it is 10 o'clock. I want to thank Vince for donating. I want to thank everyone for joining me for this event. Be sure to tune in. I'm going to probably do some more live streams this week, so probably do some reaction videos because now that my internet's working a lot better. Yes, Dusty, I do buy my meats and veggies here. So, folks, thanks again for joining me. You guys have been awesome as always. Once again, it's a great one, Vince Goodrum. And as always, peace and soul.